Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Question Reality. I'm your host, Priscilla Leona, and we are coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. If this is your first time tuning in, our show will help you question your career reality. Now, this show is for you if you are considering a career in the entertainment industry. Our guests will provide advice on how and what it takes to successfully pursue a career in the entertainment industry. And guests on this show include Emmy winners, Grammy winners, Tony winners, reality TV stars, producers, directors, actors, singers, casting directors, talent managers, screenwriters. Oh, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. They just come out of the woodworks to be on the show. We got them all. So if they are working professionally in show business, we are going to definitely have them on the show to give you entertainment career advice. And we make sure that our guests are at different stages of their careers, from professional to beginner. So that means that we are definitely going to have someone on the show who will be able to help you with all of your show business career questions. Now, we have been on the air for 8 years, as most of you know, with our millions of followers, just tweeting and Facebooking, and I thank you so much. Everyone's so excited about our guest today, but I don't want to jump the gun. But a lot of people say, can I hear more of your shows? Where do I go? I don't know why you don't know where to go, because if you're listening, it's on my archive page. But let me just tell you, you can listen to any of the past shows by going, again, to the archive page of the LA Talk Radio website. I think they're going to the official website, which you could actually find it on there, which is questionrealityshow.com. But, again, to listen to any of the past shows on the archive page, go to latalkradio.com, to that website, and you just go to the Channel 1 link, and there's a drop-down box, and you just click Question Reality, and that takes you directly to our archive page. Now, our shows are also available for download on iTunes under the podcast section and on Stitcher.com. So just go there, type in Question Reality, and we will be there for you. But as I just said, if you want to know about our future guests, as you know, we're booked 6 months to a year in advance, but that doesn't mean you cannot be on the show. Just go to our official website, which is Question Reality Radio Show. It's a totally different website, questionrealityradioshow.com, and there is a link where you can submit for consideration on the show. I also want to encourage you to download our free app for your Android or iPhone to be able to listen to all the other exciting and informative shows on LA Talk Radio. Go to the homepage, scroll down, and there it is. And we have to end this because I am titillated. I'm excited. I'm just tingling from my head to my little toesies about the guest that is on today. Oh, just saying his name. I feel all of Twitter just saying his name. Here it is. Charley Koontz. Yes, I said it. He is one of the most handsome. Oh, he's so cute. He's one of the most handsome and cute and talented actors, in my opinion, in show business today. And Charley Koontz, if you don't know who he is, you better just go and IMDb him right now. He is best known from the hit TV sitcom Community on NBC. Recently, Charley has rocketed to further stardom as the character Daniel Crummets on the new mega hit show CSI Cyber. Can't even get it out. So excited. CSI Cyber on CBS. And now, Charley, his first film was called Rubber, and it was directed by Quentin. And no, I'm not going to say Tarantino. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to butcher this poor man's last name, and I apologize. But if it's French, I usually can't pronounce it. But let's just try it. Quentin Dupio. Dupie. EUX. I apologize, and we'll get Charlie to pronounce it, so it's okay. That premiered at the 2010 Cannes Film Festival, and it has garnered, Charlie, just a dedicated, I guess the film too, just a dedicated cult following. And then he worked with Quentin again in 2011 on, I believe oh my goodness, what great, now I'm like forgetting, what did he, the film Wrong, that's right, see, going from memory, it's the wild turkey, it's taking its toll on me. Charlie is also a part of the Los Angeles-based Shakespeare Theater company called Willing Company, and his other television credits include Modern Family, one of my faves on ABC, we got Couples on NBC, Awake, and Royal Pains. Oh, that's one of my favorites. His filming credits also include the sexual thriller Contracted, directed by Eric England, and the prison set paranormal thriller Haunting of Cell Block 11. And lastly, but not surely lastly, the heist movie Road to Juarez. So, woo! Charlie is rocking the town. It is happening for Charley Koontz. Now, we're going to ask him some questions, career advice questions, and just so you can get an idea of what advice he's going to be giving you, we're going to ask him such questions as, what do you feel are the pros and cons in life as an actor? We're going to ask him, other than the obvious training needed, what kinds of things should an aspiring actor plan to be doing business-wise to prepare themselves for this field of work? We're going to ask what characteristic traits and training separates a struggling actor from an actor that books consistently. And lastly, what types of jobs does Charlie recommend to supplement your income while you pursue a career as an actor, other than the bartender and the waitress? So hopefully Charlie along the line has heard of lots of jobs, some weird ones like dog walker or something, a hotel massage. There's actually a hotel. It's a pet hotel in Beverly Hills. Well, where else would it be? But they massage your damn dog. I don't know. You could do that. You could still go on an audition. So without further ado, let's welcome Charley Koontz. Woo!
Hello. Thank you. That's an incredible introduction.
Charlie, I'm out of breath already. I hope you can carry the rest of the show.
You must be. I'll do anything I need to do.
Oh, my God. Well, Charlie, first of all, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. It was such an honor that your PR rep approached me to ask if you were going to be on the show. I couldn't even type yes fast enough. I'm like, why? Send! Why? Send! So thank you so much. We all really appreciate it. We know you're going to give such sage advice today, and thank you again. God bless your little heart and soul.
Well, thank you for having me. I think we're going to have a good time.
I think so, Charlie. Who wouldn't have a good time with you, you little hottie, you? So sexy. Ooh. Now, firstly, I want to... as I told you before the show, I want to tell you what a tremendous job that I personally feel that you're doing on CSI Cyber. As I said, it's a really strong character, as any of the fans know, and I feel, and my husband feels, that you bring the power that's really needed for that role. And this is the second season, and so my first question to you, Charlie, is, do you feel that your character, Daniel Krumitz, has integrated himself into your daily life in any way, and if so, how?
Well, thank you so much. It's so kind of you to say all of those really wonderful things, so thank you.
There's more to come, Charlie.
Oh, good. That's why I called.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think when you get to sit with a character for as long as I've gotten to sit with Daniel, and, hopefully a lot longer, then, it's hard not to start to integrate things about me into him and him into me, and certainly one of the things I've always respected about him is his work ethic. I think that's the only thing that Krumitz really knows, is how to go to work and work. So he struggles a little bit with his personal relationships, but I think he's even got an effort to work on those, and so it's a blast to get to play him, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, I know you don't struggle with having any personal relationships on the female end, my God, but that's another story. That's for my X-rated segment. Let's talk about the learning, the incredible learning opportunities that you receive as an actor portraying different characters. Obviously, it's one of the perks being an actor. You can be James Bond, and then you can be a serial killer. You can, you get all this training for free. Whereas if you had to go take sword fighting and this and that, you'd have to pay a fortune. And as an actor, that is a total perk. So, how has this role of Daniel Koontz enhanced your intellectual or personal computer skills?
Well, my personal computer skills were practically non-existent before I got this gig. I was the unplug it and then plug it back in guy. I
told you actors listen to Charlie. He practically couldn't even find his poor damn mouse, and now look at him. He's actually sending emails and tweeting and on Facebook.
Like a real live boy, yeah. It's been crazy. We have really amazing consultants who have worked for the FBI and also work in the private sector of cybersecurity. So the education on all the things that you can do or shouldn't be doing has been massive for sure. So, but at the end of the day too, it all comes down to just changing passwords more often than you think you might need to, and updating your software, and just really keeping more of an eye on the things that you're doing. Not everybody out there is a hacking criminal, but it doesn't hurt to protect yourself a little bit more. So yeah, it's been great and just really, really fascinating, all the crazy things you can do with a computer.
That's for sure. Now, how, without getting into too much, I know you can't delve into that, but how realistic are the cases that you guys solve compared to the actual reality of the world?
Well, everything that we talk about in terms of a capability, like somebody having the capability to do, is true. Obviously, we kind of sexy it up for TV a little bit. The big thing that cybercrime affects mostly is obviously identity theft and things like that. But when you make a TV show, especially one with the amazing CSI name, it goes from identity theft to cyber stalking to, that puts somebody in a really dangerous situation. So all of the research is sound, but yeah, for sure, I guess we can definitely be guilty of sexing it up a little bit for TV.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with sexing anything up, honey. If you can sex it, if you even have the remote ability to sex anything up as a person, you need to do it. So
exactly
TV,
right.
Absolutely. Now, Charley Koontz. Now, I love your name, so forgive me if I say both of them. Charley Koontz, can't you do? May I say 2 words that bring me so much to look forward to in the world of actors? I'm going to say it. Patricia Arquette.
Absolutely, right.
One of the most beautiful and talented actresses on the planet, in my opinion. Now,
absolutely.
My favorite show, I'm going to just say it, my favorite show with her, it was Medium. I just love that show. Alison Dubois. But I fell in love with her work in Stigmata when she played Frankie Page. And it was such an honor to have that second degree of separation. I actually met her brother David Arquette at the Igor Horror Festival years ago. He sat in my lap. He jumped in my lap to take a photo. And the first thing I said to him, I obviously knew who he was. I said, "Oh my God, is your sister Patricia Arquette here?" And then I felt like a nut, and I wished I could take it back, but he was totally cool, and he's like, it didn't bother him at all. So my question is, obviously, with the powerhouse that is Patricia Arquette. I'm going to just call her Patricia Powerhouse Arquette. That's going to be my name for her. Did you know when you auditioned, and then, of course, James Van Der Beek, obviously, too.
Of course.
When you auditioned and I don't know. Some agents tell you things and some don't. In the audition process, did you know that you would be starring opposite Patricia Powerhouse Arquette?
Yes. I mean, obviously, when I was auditioning, I hadn't gotten the part yet. So, but she had done a backdoor pilot for the original CSI, where they kind of introduced her character to see if the idea would sort of hold water. And so, yeah, so she was already cast by the time they started looking out for other people. What was interesting about that was I was the next one cast.
Ooh.
So in the string of auditions, so for a minute it was just me and her, and then to have the next few weeks kind of roll out and see Peter McNichol and James and Bow Wow, and just the cast list kept getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And now with Ted, obviously, you know, just add another legend to the list. But yeah, it's been quite a strange journey. All those amazing, iconic people, and then me for some reason.
I know.
So,
You know,
it's been fun.
But Charlie, that is why I love that you're on the show, because you are a testament that it can happen. You can be a working actor with credits, and then you get CSI Cyber.
Yeah.
You know, you can. And what's wonderful is that you're not just another one of these actors that that weighs 87 to 90 pounds. You are someone that we are trying. And when I say we, as I said earlier, I told you that I am sporting around that little fluffy cloud figure. And even though I'm not pursuing a career as an actor, I really want to see actors get more involved who are the more curvy actors, someone that is outside the norm. And you went in there, and I don't know if you went, you know, you can go to one audition and book it, or you can go to two in the world of acting. It just depends. So I don't know how many Charlie had, but you went in there, and you did not have the status of Patricia Arquette and Peter McNichol, Ally McBeal, for those who don't know. And you went in there, and you got that role. You rocked that role, and you got it because obviously there was more people. So what? How proud do you feel to be rocking that role on this top hit show? I mean, that must have you must have been soaring.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, I do remember I was in New York when I found out, and I had myself a good little cry. It's definitely not the worst thing in the world to be able to join a franchise like this with the people that get to do it, and so it was amazing. And you know, one of the great things about our show, I think, is that, you know, we're all part of the same cyber team. So at first glance, I guess you could look at it and say that Koontz is kind of a stereotypical computer hacker, but what I really love about it is that he's not the only representation of computer skills on the show. And I think that's what's really important to look at with this show, is that anybody can do it. It's a dedication of the mind, you know what I mean, that anybody can have an aptitude for, including Haley or James Vanderbeek or Shad Moss, you know. So that was really cool and very important, and we have a lot of conversations about the you know, the representation of a bigger computer nerd on TV, and you know, we want to do that right, and we want to not generalize and try to make everybody on the show as layered as possible. So it's been great.
Kudos to the people who cast you, because I tell you, a lot of people are afraid, and I have been doing this show for 8 years, and then prior to that I produced a cable show similar, and we dealt with all of the issues about people being afraid to cast a certain body type. So with that, I saw your Facebook post that you are the U.S. ambassador for the Be Real Body Positivity campaign. I don't know if people were out there picketing to make you U.S. ambassador, but it was you were recently interviewed on Chubb Strand. The website is chubbstr.com, and you were discussing how awesome the campaign is and the work that they do. So first of all, congratulations on being a damn ambassador. Who wouldn't want that title for anything?
Thank you very much.
Ambassador of the Red Chair, ambassador. I mean, it's the title. If you're going to have a title next to King, I'd want ambassador.
There you go. We're reaching across the aisle. We're making waves.
We are. Now, for those of us who haven't heard of the Be Real campaign, can you please tell us about it and how it came to be that you're the ambassador?
Yeah, it's a really amazing just campaign of awareness that started out in the UK, and I'm the first U.S. ambassador, like you said, and the first male ambassador, I believe, because it does, body dysmorphia and lack of body confidence issues do affect men also. I'm a good example of that. But yeah, so it's a really great campaign, and really what it is about awareness and about really looking at the numbers and how skewed they can seem in terms of, 60 to 65% adult people are upset with the way that they look, or are made to feel upset with the way that they look. And that just seems like a staggeringly high number to me. I think there's always room for self-improvement, and Be Real also really promotes health and education in terms of, not every, a fast may not be the healthiest thing that you can do, or a cleanse may not be the healthiest thing you can do, depending on your own body. So it's a great, great campaign that really is all about awareness and health and education and, it's just about loving yourself. I think that's the most important thing. And I've mentioned before that there's also a little bit of personal responsibility that needs to go along with it where, a lot of people can be made to feel less than by watching TV and movies and advertisements. But there's also self-work to be done in terms of, those images exist, but it's okay to not let them affect how you feel about yourself. I don't think that that's what their intention is. I think those kinds of standards need to be changed, but at the same time, there's also a little personal self-work to be done. So anyway, it's a great campaign. I just love it.
It really is. I mean, we are all, how delusional can people be to not know that we're all born with unique and different bodies? But unfortunately, ads and movies and TV only tend to show, not all, again, it's gotten much better. They only tend to show one type of person with a very specific and often unattainable body type. So
right.
I really love that this campaign really promotes that it's okay to see our body type out there, and I think that I wish that they could somehow do a tie-in with the powers that be in Hollywood so that writers and producers and directors and casting people can feel more open and free to cast people who are really, really good actors, my God, who are of a more portly demeanor. I really think so, because I think a lot of writers want to write for realistic characters, but I have heard that they're shot down a lot by network executives or people who just want to keep it sexy. They want to sexy it up. But hey, portly can be sexy. I am very sexy. I am sexy. I rock the sexy 24/7. So nobody can tell me I wasn't sexy. And again, it's something that you got to feel. You got to feel it. If you feel that you are confident and you feel sexy, or you feel that you have something to give to the world and contribute, it comes out. And I have been told so many times by people that I saw you as a large woman, but 5 minutes after talking to you, I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice. I didn't notice. And I'm like, wow, well, good, because that's not something you need to notice unless I'm stealing your damn food off your plate. Then you'll go like, oh, I knew she was going to steal my damn steak. I should have known. Should have sat on the other side. But fantastic campaign. So I really am excited to find out what your responsibilities are. What are your responsibilities and main duties as ambassador of the campaign? What are you going to do?
Well, I'm pretty much an awareness machine. There are people much smarter and much more capable than me. I just feel very lucky to be even included in the same sentence as this campaign. So my big gig as ambassador is to get out there and talk about it as much as I can, and direct people to their Twitter account at BeReal Campaign, and to their website. And I just think that I'm lucky to even get to do that much. So it's a brand new thing, so maybe more in the future I'll get to do some other cool things. But right now, I'm just got my loudspeaker out.
Charlie, we need a whole calendar dedicated to you. 12 months of Charley Koontz, right?
That's a lot of months.
That's a lot of months, but you are a lot of man, and you can rock every month, especially with these hot new threads that you're sporting. My goodness, yes, you are rocking those TaylorMade suits. I just saw that interview that you did. Was it Backstage West where they were focused? No, it wasn't Backstage West. Well, it was. What interview did you do? And they were talking about your fashion, because you have a very keen eye for fashion, and you really are, I guess, gearing more toward or turning more towards the tailored suits. Where was that you did that interview, Charlie?
That was the Chubster interview.
No, it was Chubster.
Same along the same lines as the BeReal, yeah.
Oh, yes. So 12 months with you in a different suit, and then maybe we could see something, a little 4th of July treat, you and a little 4th of July.
December will just be me on a bearskin rug in front of a fire, Burt Reynolds style.
Oh, my God. Just order me a dozen copies, Charlie.
That'll be the big treat.
But something like that, where you're on calendars or maybe on T-shirts or something really exciting, I hope to see from that. So everybody go and support this website, Chubster.com, CHUBSTR.com. Please, please, please. Now, I wanted to, I totally agree, again, with that Chubster interviewer who said, now I remember, it takes a lot for somebody with a body that's outside the mainstream to be willing to get in front of a camera. The obsession, as we just talked about, of being thin in the entertainment industry and other professions as well, really puts a lot of pressure on the writers in the hiring positions to cast the more normal body types. Now, in your opinion, Charley Koontz, how can we help to change that perception so that more people feel inspired to seek acting as a profession who are, a little portly?
I think it's always about what you choose to go see. I think that there are stories out there that get made and could definitely use the eyeballs and the dollars, and I think that's what executives respond to is money, and how much money something is made for and how much it makes after that. And I think that's a big thing, just supporting those kinds of stories. The other thing, too, is now with the Internet and technology being where it is, creating your own content. I think more short scripts or more web series or more YouTube personalities or anything like that is always going to be getting out the awareness that people look like this and people want to see stories that reflect them, and not, this is what I always find so strange and interesting, not just stories about people who are overweight who feel bad about themselves being overweight. I think that there's better ways to integrate them into stories and integrate us into stories in a way where we don't become just this visual signifier. We have feelings about many different things, not bizarrely unlike anybody else. So yeah, I think especially starting out in the industry as an actor or a writer or a producer is to act, write, and produce. I think the more you do that, the more those kinds of stories will really gain traction, because I think really it's what people do want to see.
Absolutely. I'm writing a short right now called Sammy and Delilah,
Great.
and it actually, I have never done it before, Charlie. I said, what the hell? I'm going to just do it. I'm just going to write it. So I took some screenwriting classes, and now I set one finger to the keyboard at a time, and I just started. And exactly that. It's about, a larger person and about having fun and dealing with, it's a comedy. So it's about dealing with fun issues. So, and I am going to cast all portly people in it. I can't wait. And that's it. It's going to be lovely. And I didn't even think about that, but I have a friend, Mary Lou Belli, who's a 2-time Emmy-winning director, and she's been on my show twice, and she said, Priscilla, you are a natural sitcom actress. You need to be doing. I have no interest in it, but she talked me into taking her sitcom career class, and I went 4 Saturdays. Lord knows, getting up at 6 o'clock nearly killed me. But I don't know how you actors do it. I don't even know. That's a whole other issue. But I got up anyway, and I went to these classes. Charlie, first of all, when I came in, she said, I want to tell you how brave you are. And I'm thinking, why? And then I went in, and everybody was 50 to 80 pounds, all that. And I'm like rocking it. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. And I did my scenes, Charlie, and I swear to God, it was so much fun. And people, she brought different people in as guests, casting directors, talent managers, who are very reputable directors who did sitcoms like 400 episodes. And I could not believe that they told me I have a natural ability for comedy, for sitcoms, and they said you should go out and audition. So I said to them, oh my God, well, based on everybody, that most people, not all, but based on most of the characters I see on sitcoms, I don't know if I would be successful, especially starting this late in my career. But I have been thinking about it, Charley Koontz, and I think that I'm going to give it a whirl. And I want to encourage other people who don't feel that would feel intimidated to go out and do it, to just go out and do it, because I didn't know that I had a natural ability for being a sitcom actress. But I'm going to go out and do it, Charley Koontz. I'm going to be doing a comedy on the CBS lot. We're going to have lunch.
Great. That sounds fantastic. I think you should. I think it's something important to always remember too, is that you can't do anything that you don't try for, that you don't put yourself out there for. And I also am of the opinion, there are structures in place that are certainly difficult to get around, and one person may get discovered in a mall, and one person may start acting when they're 50 and whatever. But I really do think if there's a dedication and a commitment to the process of it, that eventually it's just going to be in everybody's best interest to cast the best actor for the part. And I think that happens often, and I feel like a good example of that. I've been on a lot of auditions, and a lot of things that I haven't gotten, but the things that I have gotten have been the most important things for me. So anyway, I think it's a great idea. I think it's never too late to start, and you can't get successful if you don't try.
I'm so glad you said that, because I have a lot of cast directors on my show, and I would say out of all of them I have on, when I ask that question, how realistic is it for a female that is maybe possibly, rocking the marshmallow shape and maybe over 30, how realistic is it to have a career as a working actor? And I haven't really gotten a positive response. And I felt that they were more realistic and honest about it. So it was discouraging, but I'm like-minded with you in that I feel that you should at least try, because I have heard success stories. The lady that was on ER, I think she was a housewife or a nurse, or I can't remember.
Yeah.
She was like almost 40 years old, and look, she became a star of the show. And look at Phyllis Diller, the legendary Phyllis Diller. And that was during a time when women were getting nothing. except an iron in their hand and a damn, a frying pan.
Well, it's important to remember too. They don't call it chasing a dream for nothing. It's so what actor gets into this for being realistic?
Right.
I don't think that's really the place to start from. It's a dream. It's a passion. That's what you got to go in for. I don't think it's a question of the ratio of effort to success. I think if it's something you need to do, it's something you need to do, and I think that passion like that just gets recognized eventually.
Absolutely. Right on. Now, Charley, I got a lot of emails since announcing you were coming on the show, and I found that like 5% of them, they were asking me, like they can't Google this and find out, but they were asking me, is Charley Koontz related to the writer Dean Koontz? And I said, I don't know. Can you Google it? Let me know. I don't know.
I wish.
Well, you probably are, but you just don't know it, right? Because
who knows? I certainly don't know it. Man, if I was related to Dean Koontz, I'd be on an island somewhere. I wouldn't have to get up at 5 a.m. and go to work every day.
Now speaking of which, are there any plans in the future to write or direct or produce? If so, what would be your dream project?
Oh, sure. I mean, I think there's always dreams of that nature flying around. You got to stay busy, and I'm really enjoying. I'm at the beginning, hopefully, of my young career. So hopefully, I'll have plenty of time to figure that stuff out. Right now, I'm really trying to hammer down this acting thing and see if I can't do it as well as I can.
Good answer, Charley. Good answer. They don't want to hear about you having any plans to be writing, directing, or producing, and it's not on CSI Cyber. I just realized that wasn't a good question to ask you, even though
it's a great question. It's a great question. I've talked to a couple of people, maybe further down the road, of possibly directing a CSI Cyber episode, and so yeah, the interest is absolutely there. It's not something I'm pursuing super fervently at the moment.
Learn.
Just enjoying going to work right now.
Actors say you really should be on a show a long time before you take on the old directing or producing hat, for goodness sake. There's still a lot of things to learn on the set just from taking that sitcom career class, and I don't know how different the process is of being a sitcom actor than on a drama series, but it was intense. We only got to day 4. We never even got to Friday, the day you shoot the show. And there's like 400 pages left to go. So, I'm going to need to take a vacation for a while before I get back into that.
Shooting the show is the easy part. That's the fun part.
Yeah, but I don't know how the worst part that I found, and it's probably because I'm not an actor, but the memorization. I mean, I don't know if it works the same way in drama, but I know in this sitcom career class, they change the script every day. How do you? I mean, I had trouble just memorizing my one little line, and I practice, and then the next day they change it. Next day they change it. Is that the same in doing a drama show? Do they do that too, or?
We change it quite a bit. It's a long road from the page to the stage, as they say. Something can make sense on paper, and then when you get it up on its feet with some other actors, it starts to make a little less sense. So, yeah, it always changes. With memorization, it's just about practice and getting into a routine, and also just understanding the place that your character's coming from. I think that always makes the thought process a little bit easier, and you should always, in my opinion, memorize through a thought process rather than just trying to say the words right, because that's when you get tripped up, and that means you don't really understand what you're saying, and that's when the acting starts to not be so great, which I've certainly been there, so I know from experience.
And that's when you're going to hit the unemployment line. So just because you get cast on a show and they have all these changes, and if you can't keep up and memorize, your butt is going to be hitting the bread and butter line of unemployment. You're going to be fun employed, as we say. Now, let's talk about, one more thing before we go into the career advice questions. I have to know this because I read somewhere, Charley Koontz. Is this correct that you almost majored in theology before stumbling onto
Yeah.
Did you really? Tell me how, why, where, when?
Well, it was a clerical error, of course. I sent an application to Loyola Marymount University, where I ended up going, and in my preferred list of 3 majors, I put film and theater. And the film school was all filled up, and the theater school's call letters were THEA, and through some clerical error, they sent me back an acceptance letter for THEO. And I was like, certainly that cannot be the case. So I called back and I said that surely can't be true.
It was from a higher power, Charlie. You totally ignored the typing finger of the Lord.
I did. I said thanks, but no thanks.
It was a sign. It was a sign. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. Well, thank goodness we are much better for it. We love Daniel. We love Daniel much better. Now, new projects you got going on. The Legacy of Avril Kite is in pre-production. I think that's coming out in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
You got, you just completed Sons of Guns, Work Mom, and Brendan, and Tail? Is it Tail?
Tail, yeah.
Just Tail! I don't want to know what that's about. Is that about what I think? I hope not. What is
It's about a guy with a tail, yeah.
Oh, a guy. I was thinking something else, but I like that much better. I like that. A guy with a tail. I like it. Now, all of these are, how do you fit that in, Charlie? How? How can you have done all of these and still work on CSI Cyber?
Well, a couple of them are some short movies that I found some time to break away from CSI. So a couple of Tail and Sons of Guns are short form. Work Mom was actually a pilot I did a while ago that didn't end up going. So yeah, there's plenty of time. And hiatus, when the show goes in between seasons, there's plenty of time to work on some other stuff.
Got it. Okay. Well, we are looking forward to seeing you in those shows, and you're going to rock those parts. It's good I'm going to see you in more parts. I want to see how because you're so powerful and talented in this role. I can't wait to see you do other characters. So that's really exciting. So
Thank you so much.
Everybody,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, everybody look on imdb.com and keep an eye on Charlie. Now, let's get to the career advice. What do you feel are the pros and cons in the life of an actor?
The pros are obviously working, and the cons are not working.
That's so simple. I love it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
One you don't. I like it. Let's keep it short. Now, what actually inspired you to become an actor? I mean, did you know when Charley Koontz was a little boy? Did you always know it, or is it something you found out later?
I have always had an interest in film and television. I'm a big movie geek. So I think I always was at least interested in doing something of that profession. I thought about being a film critic for a while. I wanted to be a stuntman when I was a little kid. So I ended up doing some plays, and it wasn't really until I got to college that I did a student production of a play, and it really started to take hold as something that, I could spend 12 hours a day doing. It was just something that helped my interest and the relationships that I made doing it, and the amazing mentorship I got while doing it. There were enough people saying maybe I could be a natural at it that it was worth giving a shot. So I'm incredibly appreciative to mentors like that.
See that? That's what happened to me in the sitcom career class. I know
exactly.
what you're talking about. Okay, other than the obvious training needed, what kinds of things should an aspiring actor plan to be doing? And I want to emphasize business-wise, to prepare themselves for this field of work, other than acting and headshots and all that, because a lot of people, Charley Koontz, a lot of actors do not realize that they need to handle their business. Right? They need to handle their business. You talk a little bit about that, how important that is.
Well, I think I think this job takes dedication. I think it's got to be the one thing that you just know you need to do. So to that end, a day job is something that serves the function of your acting. Anything that you can do in order to free up time to go on auditions and network and meet the people that you need to be meeting, or taking improv classes or sketch writing classes or acting for the camera classes or whatever they may be. Anything that serves that function. So obviously, we talked earlier about being a bartender or a server. But
what kind of jobs, right?
Yeah, but those are perfect jobs for an actor. Most of the bartenders in LA are actors.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is great. And then, on the other side, then it swings the other way, where I've known people who've, like you said, done the dog walking. I know people who make all their money for the year putting up people's Christmas lights in November.
Ooh,
and taking them
good.
down in January.
That's good, Charlie. I've never heard that in 8 years. No one has ever recommended that. That's a job?
It is if you make it a job.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's really the way. I think that's the whole point, is that it can't be something that you need permission for. I mean, it always has to be in the function of how can I focus? How can I do this job to pay my rent and still focus on my acting? And these people, these friends that I know, came up with this Christmas light business and charge, whatever they charge, but hit enough houses in a 2-month span that they can survive for at least through pilot season without having a job and being able to dedicate everything to their acting. So it's whatever is necessary. I mean, that's really the thing. People always ask, well, what kind of job should I get? What kind of this? What kind of that? It is anything that works.
Yeah.
Anything that pays. It doesn't matter what it is, because that's not your real job. Your real job is that you're an actor.
Absolutely. And, I say if you're going to be a bartender or waitress, you got to be able to handle it mentally, because that can stress you out to no end, and it might affect the audition process, the studying process, etc. Yeah. So I love the whole idea of the dog walker. I mean, dogs can be a stretch, but, Okay, next question. Last question. What characteristic traits and training do you feel separates a struggling actor from an actor that books work consistently? Characteristic traits.
I think it's a determination. I think it's a commitment to the acting of it. I know a lot of actors who really enjoy being actors and not acting so much.
Right.
So I know a lot of people like that. So I think it's a determination, and like I said, there are people in the world who are going to be discovered at the mall. It's just the way it is. It just will happen. Some producer will see some hot young thing, and she'll be on the poster the next week. But I think there's many other paths. There's no one right way to do it, and it has to be about not being able to do anything else. And I think the way to achieve that in terms of auditions and anything, when you get to set, when you get to rehearsal for your play, anything like that, is how much you pour into the work. And the work is going to be the thing that elevates you. Because without that, you can be, the hottest thing on the planet, and if the work's not even a little bit there, it doesn't matter. So that's what I think. I think it's not about giving yourself a time period. It's not about setting up a measure of success. I think it's about pouring everything you have into the art form that you claim to love, and if you love it enough, I think opportunities will start to show up for you.
Absolutely. I got one. This is definitely for sure the last question. Okay, Charlie, think hard.
Okay.
In the future, what or who would be an absolute dream role for you to perform?
That's an easy one. You saved the easiest one for last.
Ow! Hard. Okay.
I've always wanted to play Jackie Gleason. That's been my thing. So I think maybe one day. Maybe I'll have to age into it a little bit.
I have seen The Honeymooners, I'd say 35 times every single episode. Oh, Charlie, you got to do it. Charlie, please. Even if you have to do it as a short or, create it yourself and do it as a short. Oh,
yeah,
my
absolutely.
God.
I gotta age into it a little bit. Not quite right yet.
Oh, yeah.
But one of these days, I would love to.
Well, yeah. So, God, I'll be dead before you get to be as. You gotta.
I promise I'll do it before that.
Okay, good. Well, everybody, I want to thank you so much for tuning in today to listen to the wonderful, multi-talented, handsome actor, Mr. Yes, you are sexy man. Yes, you are. Mr. Charley Koontz. And if you're just tuning in, he is one of the stars of CSI Cyber on CBS. You got to check out the show. It is one of the hottest, obviously, part of the CSI family.
Also, don't forget, it's on tonight at 10 o'clock on CBS.
That's right. Oh, well, see, I got it. It's all scheduled on the DVR, so I completely forget what's on. But, yes, it's on tonight, 10 o'clock, CBS. See the one and only Daniel Crummins, a.k.a. Mr. Charley Koontz. Now I'm going to call you Kroons. Charley Koontz. Charley Koontz. And go to IMDb and check out his cards. Do you have your own personal website, or you're just on IMDb and Facebook?
I do not. IMDb, Twitter, Facebook, all that jazz.
Okay, so go and follow him, like his page, and look for the one and only Charley Koontz to be playing Jackie Gleason. I've already put the commitment on you, Charley Koontz, and now you got it. Say goodbye to your fans, Charley Koontz.
Thank you so much for having me. I just a joy, and keep acting and doing the thing.
Yeah, you and I, we're doing lunch on the set as soon as I can either roofie someone and get them to cast me on a sitcom, or it happens the natural way. We're going to be together, Charley Koontz.
The date.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Charley Koontz. We'll see you on CSI Cyber tonight at 10 o'clock, CBS. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.